Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I have Bancroft and bring you all the Great Ape Son Gohan, Saiyan Impulse Set 15, Mono Yellow Deck profile. Like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them, they're there for a reason. But let's get into it. So this leader is very similar to Launch, where it likes to flip over very easily. There's not actually an awakening ability to this leader. So if you have one or more energy when a player, doesn't matter if it's you or your opponent, plays a filled extra card in the battle area, you may flip this card over. If you do, switch up to one of your yellow energies to active mode. You cannot flip it back over for the remaining of your turn, but you also get one additional effect. Either A, draw one card, or B, add up to one yellow filled extra card of energy cost of 1 from your drop area to your hand. So once you see 2 filled cards, you're pretty much good. Just keep on cycling this leader to awaken, but obviously you want to see more filled cards as you go on, because that's the way you get an extra draw out of this. On the backside, when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode. This card gains 5,000 power for a turn, which is not a bad thing, making it a 20k on swing. But if this card KOs an opponent's battle card, switch this card to active mode. Keep in mind that first auto is not once per turn, so if you swing into an opponent's battle card, get the 5k boost, KO that battle card, restand, swing into your opponent's leader this time. It gets additional 5k boost. You can tap another card, which is always great, and then it becomes a 25k beater, which is always great, nice. On the backside, it does have the auto when a player, when a player's filled extra card leaves the battle area, you may flip this card to its front. If you do, you can't flip back over. If it's your opponent's turn, switch up to one of your yellow energies active mode, then this card gains 5,000 power per turn. So that way you're not staying at a 10k on your front side. It becomes a 15k for your opponent's turn. Then on your turn, you pay 1 energy to play a field card and just flip back over and begin the swings. So like I said, this is a very field-friendly deck. So we play a couple of different fields. 1, Higher Dragon's Home. If your leader card's yellow Saiyan card, when this card is placed in the battle area, add up to 1 monster card of energy cost of 3 or less from your deck to your hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. The targets we got for that are Son Gohan, Higher Dragon's Best Buds. When this card's played from your hand, look at top 7 cards of your deck for a yellow filled extra card of energy cost of 1. So it helps you search those ones out if you're not seeing them. It does have an activate battle where you switch this card to rest mode, choose up to one of your yellow filled extra cards in the battle area, place it in the owner's drop area, choose up to one of your yellow mono yellow Saiyan cards, and it gets plus 1,000 power for the battle. So if your opponent swings at you for 15k, you're 15k, you can just activate battle, flip your leader over. It gets the 5k from the leader effect, then it gets additional 1k from this effect. You don't have to combo card out to protect your leader, and you get the field out of the way. And then we also play 2 of the Higher Dragon's Battle at the Tree. This is a pseudo super combo. I say that because it does cost 1 to combo with, but you do get all the effects as you normally would, where you choose 1 yellow field extra card of energy cost of 1 in your battle area, place it in the owner's drop area when when this card in your hand is played, or using a combo, draw 1. And I say pseudo super combo because it does cost 1 to combo with, but you get the 10k boost, you get the draw, you place the filled card into the owner's drop area, your leader awakens or flips over, and you resend that energy you just used to combo with this card off. So just make sure you have energy when you use this effect. Go back to the Higher Dragon's Home real quick. At the end of your opponent's turn, this card will be placed in its drop area, so in case you don't have one of these 2 cards available to use for some reason, you will still get the effect of this card popping in your opponent's turn. But auto for 2 energy, when this card's placed in its owner's drop area from your battle area, choose up to 1 monster card of energy cost 2 or less from your hand and play it for 2 energy. This is a good way, if you have the 2 energy, to play Son Gohan, Higher Dragon's Best Buds. That way you go ahead and get a quick search. You're expending energy that you just kept open during your opponent's turn, so being able to manage that was always great if you can make it happen. Our next field card, Forest Fire. We play 2 as well. If your leader card is yellow Saiyan card, when this card is placed in the battle area, add up to 1 mono yellow Saiyan card of energy cost of 4 from your deck to your hand to shuffle your deck afterwards. This card does have the additional effect, place this card in its owner's drop area. Place this card in its owner's drop area from your battle area at the end of your opponent's turn. They may choose 1 card in their hand, discard. If they don't, choose all field extra cards of energy cost of 1 in their battle area and place it in the owner's drop area. Most cases, that you can't do anything. Most people don't typically have field cards, so it's fine. You don't worry about that. But like I said, it does pop itself. It does search for a mono yellow Saiyan, which is always great. We also have another Saiyan searcher, which is Planet Vegeta. Now this one does not pop itself, but at the end of your turn, switch all your great apes in your battle area to active mode. And like I said, this card, when this card's played in your battle area, choose up to one Saiyan with energy cost of 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. So 2 ways of searching for Saiyan cards which come in handy for you. And those Saiyan cards, we play 4 of the Son Gohan Misadventure. If this card's in your battle area, will be placed in the owner's drop area by one of your skills. It is sent to the owner's war princess. You cannot use Successor for this cause. Auto for 1 yellow energy. If your leader card is yellow, when a yellow filled extra card in your battle area is placed in the owner's drop area, you play this card from your hand, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, or Unison, which is always great, ignoring barrier and switch it to rest mode. And it's also a 19k blocker, so you know it's going to stay alive. It's going to stay alive unless your opponent decides to combo heavy against this card. Next couple of Saiyans we got going on here. Bardock the Eliminator. I chose to go this one instead of the, I think, Saiyan Instincts, if I'm correct, because this is a 1 cost for a draw 1, which isn't bad. A lot of times I like to keep at least 1 energy open during my opponent's turn, and I'm typically using my energy during my turn to either play cards for very cheaply, but I can see a reason to play the Saiyan Instinct that is a pay 2 to draw 2, but this is always a great one. This one also goes with another field card, which we'll go into that later on the road when I get down there. And then the last Saiyan card we play, besides obviously the 1-drops, is the Goku the counterplay Goku for in Chapter 3. The battle card being played is, it's played in rest mode. Then the battle card being played is played in rest mode. Then play this card, draw 1 card. So even if this card gets counterplayed, the card being played is still put in rest mode, which is really great. Get to draw 1 if you play it. The permanent is that this card's counter skill is reduced by energy cost by 1 for each yellow extra card in your battle area, energy, and drop area. So as long as you are seeing those field cards, you're good to go. So Higher Dragon, Forest Fire, and Planet Vegeta. The next extra card we play is Turtles Powerball. Just a one-of. This was just, I just needed that extra field card. I tried experimenting with this deck at 6 field cards, and for some reason I always felt like it just wasn't enough. 7 feels like almost a perfect number to me. I never have issues looking for field cards with this one at all. This particular field card, if your leader card is green or yellow Saiyan, at the end of your turn on which this card was placed in your battle area, you may choose 1 Grade 8 card with energy cost of 4 in your hand, play it in your opponent's battle area with its skills negated for the game. If you do, you draw 2 cards. It's a good way of placing the Bardock the Eliminator on your opponent's side of the field. And then when you go and combo with Bardock the Eliminator in your turn, you can activate the limit 1. If your leader card is yellow or a Bardock crew, choose one of your opponent's skillless battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode. At the end of the battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand, your opponent may KO the chosen card. If they don't, you play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So it potentially gives you an extra beater on the board. If your opponent wants to KO the skills card, it just gives you 2 draw wipes in your drop area, which works out great for me. And yeah, so there's the field cards. So all the field cards have a way of popping themselves. Turtles is a activate battle. Just activate battle, give the Turtles 6,000 power. We don't play any Turtles in this deck, so it's fine. Whatever. The activate main for 1 energy, you can choose one of your opponent's Grade 8 cards with energy cost of 4 or less and gain control of it. So in case your opponent chooses not to KO the ape, you can just take it for 1 energy from them. Planet Vegeta is the only card in this deck that cannot pop itself, so we have to rely on either the 1-drops Higher Dragons or the 2-drop Pickle Negate, which is also a blocker. Negate the attack, play this card from your hand, and you can't activate counterattack skills for the turn, which is kind of the downside. You want this to be kind of your last negate if you're going to use it, because it will stop 2 attacks unless it gets counterplayed. The permanent of this one, though, is that if your leader card is yellow Saiyan card, you may choose 1 yellow filled extra card with energy cost of 1 in your hand or battle area, placing the owner's drop area. If you do, you can activate this card's counter skill without paying the energy cost. So it's just a way of popping Planet Vegeta if you don't want it on the board to get this out on the board, to get the negate blocker on the board, which will proc the leader's effects or any other effects. And if you have trouble finding extra cards or field cards, we play 3 of the Krillins, which actually, if you don't have a field card in play, you play this card, it plays 1 from your drop area. So for 1 energy, it plays 2 cards, which is pretty great. Going into the rest of the deck, more on the idea of control plus pressure. We play 3 of the Mecha Freezes, which is a counterattack. And you could be played this for 1 energy, because the permanent, if your leader card is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy area and drop area. When this card is played, each time your opponent would attack with a non-unison card for turn, they must choose one of their cards in active mode and switch it to rest mode. We don't worry about the active main because we don't play any of those cards. 3 Forbidden Powers. It's a counterattack which doesn't actually negate the attack, but your opponent can only attack with battle cards one more time for the turn, so it kind of just contains your opponent's turn a little bit. You just follow this up with a blocker if you want to not take the hit. And this does have an activate battle, so in case I need to use it for this purpose, if your leader card is yellow and it's your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. Then you choose up to one of your yellow cards, and it gains 10,000 power for the battle. So it's just nice, either 1 energy for a 10k boost, get rid of a card on the board, not really get rid of it, but tap it. And yeah. Speaking of multi-extra attacks, or counterattacks, we play 3 of the Power of the Super Saiyans. You can negate with it if you have 1 active. If you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this activate battle for free, which is draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and switch it to rest mode. You cannot do this more than once per turn. 4 super combos because they like to draw cards. 2 Vegeta's Final Flashes because it's yellow, and you should probably play this card if you don't. It will pretty much stop any double strike or higher from hitting you. 1 Poutine because the leader will always tap a card as long as it doesn't have barriers, so this card is always active if it's in your hand. I got a little pretty, so I put 1 of each of the double strike cards, but really just 2 Champas or 2 Kais or whatever you want to do, just do it. The added pressure of double strike is always great, especially since I'm going more of a wide board of this deck. Here. Now, to help control the field, Supreme Kai of Time is my current secret rare. Activate battle for 1 energy. You play this card during your turn. Activate main for 1 energy. Choose this card and all of your opponent's battle cards and unison cards. Send them to the owner's warp. It's great to get rid of a potential threat, but I've been leaning towards the idea of just switching out for Super 17 Sibling Absorb instead. Because a lot of times, getting hit by certain cards on the board that you know can be problematic, I've always wished if I could just negate that card's skills or just get rid of it somehow, it would be great. And I find myself more wanting this card instead of the Supreme Kai of Time. But I've lately been keeping this one just because I want to keep my opponent's board light, so that way I can apply the pressure and just keep them from hitting me so many times. 2 Turtles, all too easy. A great card, could definitely go up to a 3 of. When this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and rest mode, KO it. Then you choose 1 of 2 effects, either draw 1 or choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And this card only costs you 2 energy if your leader card is a mono yellow Saiyan and you have 3 or more energy. Play this card from your hand. And it is a double strike 20k. I only played 2 unisons in this particular build because I was going for more of a set 15 build. And I only chose to go 2 unisons because having the ability to have this counterplay card, in my opinion, is better than potentially having a free Vegeta's Prideful Transformation. And 1 of 2 reasons. Reason 1, if this card's in your hand and you don't have the unison, it's still 1 energy. If Vegeta's in your hand, it's 3 energy. So I found this unison more as a kind of a backup protector if I needed to it. +1, activate main, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy, and it can't attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it helps keep certain cards just preoccupied, not be able to attack you. And then the +/0 auto, choose 1 card in your battle area, switch to rest mode. When this card activates blocker skill, switch this card to active mode. And the only card you really need to worry about switching are your field cards because they're in your battle area, so you just tap that card to resend this unison to have a double blocker on board. So just having extra protection. You can also pay this for 2. +1, give it 3 markers. Then immediately pay if you have the energy for it, obviously on turn 5. The activate main on this card for 3 energy. If you have 4 or more energy and a yellow unison card in play this card from your hand. Activate main, Spirit Boost 2. If your leader card is mono yellow, this card gains dual attack for the turn, and your opponent can't activate skills on battle cards with original entry cost of 7 or less. For the yeah, it's a deflect, double strike, 25,000, and when you play this card, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. So it's a nice way of ending the game out in case going wide isn't working out for you. But that is my... Where's the leader go? He's gone. He disappeared. There he is. That is my Son Gohan Saiyan Impulse set 15 deck. Hope you all enjoyed it. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and on the screen. Yeah, so read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.